Walking. It's an activity we almost take for granted. Just put one foot in front of the other and propel yourself somewhere. It can be with a purpose or just for fun. But as we age, walking can become more and more difficult, which can lead to a lack of exercise. That can lead to a fall. And the results of a fall can be devastating. Hello, I'm Mark Mazzaferro. I'm a member of the Solano County Fall Prevention Partnership. The partnership was formed in 2009 to address the growing trend of senior-related falls. What I'm about to tell you is shocking, and it should be. In California alone, 1.3 million older adults experience an injury due to falling. During a recent 2-year period in Solano County, the cost of hospitalization for 1,343 fall victims was almost $50 million. That's enough to operate every senior center in every Solano County city for at least 50 years. And while the monetary cost is high, the emotional and physical costs are even higher. Most falls can result in a variety of injuries, including hip fractures, head injuries, or even death. More than 40% of people hospitalized from hip fractures do not return home and are not capable of living independently again. 25% of those who have fallen each year die. And on average, 2 older adults die from fall-related injuries every day in California. Betty Loudermilk was living at home when a fall left her disabled and alone for over 10 hours. It was only when her housekeeper arrived the next day that she was found and help was called. As a result of her fall, Betty spent almost a year hospitalized and living in a senior care facility recovering from her fall. While she was gone, Betty's family went into her home and made a variety of changes to make it safer for her when she returned. There's a bit of irony to this. Betty's family had ordered a life alert type device that was scheduled to arrive the day after she fell. Here's Betty's story.
Well, you know, the first thing I thought was, timing is everything. Timing is everything.
I got up to go to the restroom and I stepped on my robe and I tried to get it up and it wouldn't come, and then I grabbed for my walker, which has 4 wheels on it, and it got out from under, and I didn't have the brakes on, which was my fault, and I went completely down. And then I absolutely was petrified because I thought, oh, what am I going to do? Because I knew it was far enough away from the phone that I couldn't reach it.
We had found someone to come and help her take care of herself. The first day the lady came was the day after she fell.
And I was already hurting, and I evidently had broken my femur. So I went down at 10 o'clock at night. My lady that was going to come to see if she could help me was supposed to come at 10 o'clock the next morning. That
particular day, the device, the alert device came in the mail, so I was bringing it to set it up for her.
And my daughter was coming to bring me the lifeline, which I didn't have yet. So the lady came, she opened the door, and she just was panicky because she saw me lying there. And so she called 911.
It was a horrible experience for all of us. We thought we lost her a couple of times.
It was a terrible experience, absolutely terrible experience.
All I could say to anyone who has a family member who is beginning to lose the ability to take care of everything is, don't wait. Do those things right now and put them in place.
Now that we know the monetary and physical costs of falls, we have to ask ourselves, what can we do to prevent falls? The most effective fall prevention programs have many components, but feature these 3 steps: medical management, balance and mobility improvement, and environmental modification. The first step is to get a risk assessment from your doctor or healthcare professional. During routine doctor visits, ask the doctor about your risk of falling. Some of the health factors that can contribute to falls are osteoporosis, being over age 80, changes in balance and walking patterns, changes in vision and sensation, and taking multiple medications that don't mix. Dwayne Worden's wife was having problems staying on her feet. She was getting dizzy, falling often, and was concerned that she might have more serious health problems. The impact on her quality of life was devastating. But they took charge of the situation, and the result was better than anyone could have expected. Here's Dwayne to tell us their story.
She I was down at the church helping them get a meal together, and she came in, brought some stuff for a silent auction, and she says, I'm going out and put the car in the parking lot, a half a block away. She never made it to the parking lot. She was all over town. I went, finally I didn't see the car there, so I went looking for her. And I figured, well, she went home. And I tried to call home, she didn't answer. So I went home, and she wasn't there. So on my way back, I met her, and she was on her way home then. And what she had said, she had been all over town. When she finally realized where she was she was on First Street and A. Well, she said, I know First Street will take me home. So she started home, and I turned around and followed her back home, and I said, where have you been? And she said, I really don't know where I've been. She knew she was falling, but she had no idea why. She didn't get dizzy or anything. She just fell. And I told her that, I said, the law of averages says that you're going to get hurt and hurt bad. It was all the times you have fallen. So you need to do something about it. But nothing seemed to help. So, but she'd fall, and one of the last times she fell and I was outside. I had a guy trimming trees, and I was outside for a half an hour or so, and I come in and she was on the floor under the wheelchair. And she said, I know what it looked like from the bottom. And she couldn't get out from under it. She couldn't get the wheelchair off of her. She couldn't get out, couldn't get up. And she never did get up from one of those falls. She fell in the intersection of First and A one day. We were walking across the street and fell. And they've each got a dining area, each Bud's Cafe and the one on the other side, each have a dining area outside. These two men that were outside run out there to help her. And the one says, he says, it's lucky, he says, we got to you, because a car would have come around that corner making a right-hand turn, would have nailed you right there. He wouldn't be looking down at the sidewalk to see you were there. So those were different times that she fell, and like I said, there was no apparent reason for it. She must have fallen 40 or 50 times. It was a trying time, I know that. And when the neurologist specialist said, they're not seizures, that left us to do something else. I couldn't imagine what it was, but when this doctor said, we need to change this medication around, why, I was all for it. Her regular doctor, who was in Vacaville, and the doctor on the floor, and the neurologist all got their heads together, and they reduced this medication an awful lot. They eliminated Buspar completely. They lowered the dosage on nortriptyline, and I don't believe they changed the Cytomel. I think it was still left the same, and that's what made the difference. You could tell the difference within 48 hours. And that made me feel good. If reducing this medication would help in 48 hours, a week is going to make a big difference. Even after we'd gotten home, I was out in back of the other house one day, and she was outside. The neurologist had told her, he said, well, take the wheelchair and walk it behind it. Use it like a walker. Well, I come out, and she didn't even have the wheelchair with her, or the walker, or none of it. And I said, what are you doing? She said, well, I'm all right. And she started making progress then. The falling limited her to what her activities were. We square dance, and we actually met square dancing. And so it's been it's over 25 years ago now. She didn't want to go to square dance. She figured she might fall or whatever, even on the dance floor. So it limited her mobility a lot. And I encouraged her to limit her mobility because there was never any warning or anything. She'd just fall. And she could be inside or outside or whatever. And we still, matter of fact, square dances tonight. And we dance with the Twin City Steppers, and we dance in the Senior Citizen Center in Sassoon City. And we enjoy it. She'd gone to lunch with this group of league ladies that she belonged to. They get together whenever one of them has a birthday that ends in a 5 or a 0. So I took her in, and I took her in a wheelchair because she could not walk at that time. And the next time they met, which was probably 6 months later, she walked in. And The women were all, and they had set up a table to where there were two of them were in wheelchairs, and they'd set this up so that each of them had an end of the table for their wheelchairs, and they were flabbergasted that she walked in on her own. I think that the big thing is to consult their doctor and see, and maybe more than one doctor. These were 4 doctors involved in this, and I've always said 2 heads better than one if one is a cabbage head. It makes sense to me to consult with whoever, and not one doctor can't always do it all. You need some consultation.
Another step is to improve and maintain your balance and mobility. Studies show that balance, flexibility, and strength training not only improve mobility, but also reduce the risk of falling. Statistics show that older adults do not exercise regularly, and 35% of people over the age of 65 do not participate in any leisure physical activity. This lack of exercise only makes it harder for individuals to recover after a fall. Perry Tanner teaches an exercise class in Vallejo specifically for seniors and those with mobility issues. Here's Perry and some of her students to tell us how exercise had a positive impact on their lives.
I'm an instructor with the Vallejo Adult School, and I've been teaching with the adult school for about 23 years now. And about 8 years ago, the Area Agency on Aging had some funding to help provide exercise, strength, and fitness classes for seniors. And they contacted me, and I just jumped on board with this idea, and the classes took off. Our classes are very successful. I've seen seniors come that could hardly walk. They couldn't even stand up straight. But after participating in the strengthening exercises, they're able to walk straighter. Some of them are able to get rid of their canes and their walkers. They're much less likely to fall. And I have people that have fallen, and many times they tell me that because of feeling stronger, that they're able to catch themselves so that they don't fall as hard, or they don't end up hurting themselves and having as major of injuries as they might have had if they hadn't been exercising. Exercise can just do miracles as far as keeping them fit, keeping them off of medications, and keeping them from falling and having all those injuries and the devastation that will come about because of those falls.
I come to this class so that I don't have to take too many painkillers. I have arthritis, and it enables me to keep fitter, and so actually my general well-being has improved a lot since I started coming. I was recommended to take the class by the Kaiser Pain Management Program, and I thought it was a silly idea, and I just couldn't have been more wrong. It's just changed my life.
Well, I took this class because I had a heart attack and ended up having to have a quadruple bypass. So what I'm getting out of this class is that it's really helped me get my strength back, made me feel better, and it's good exercise. It makes me think that, you know, but mainly for my strength. It's the heart attack took a lot out of me. Since I've started the class, and this is the first session that I've taken, I feel 100% better.
My cardiologist advised me I am in the pre-hypertension problem. So he was about to give me some medication. I said, no, I don't like it because I don't want medicine. So we made a deal, you know, to do exercise, low sodium, and watch my diet. Exercise has helped me overcome my, my blood pressure. Instead of going up, it went down. It's very, very normal.
I started this class just about 2 years ago. I at that time had just had breast cancer surgery and was recovering, and I had to recover some muscle tone and stuff too, but was also just at a time where I realized I needed to eat better, I needed to exercise, and I saw this in the GVRD book and I said, that sounds perfect. And then I came and I realized I was one of the youngest people in that room, and I was embarrassed because there were people in that room that were definitely in their 70s and in their 80s and were doing all the stuff that Perry makes us sweat over. Even when I came, another thing was that I knew that someday I would probably need surgery on my neck. My neck was just really in pain back here, and it was a constant worry. And I don't even feel those pains anymore. I realized I'd lost a lot of leg strength, and my friends now, I I'm the one who's out in front when we're walking and stuff like that. So I realized that I've probably gained 10 years on my life from these exercises that she's put us through. I can do so many things I could not do before.
I have to have exercise in my life in order for me to survive, because I have arthritis, sciatica, and so when I come here, when I'm finished with Perry, she brings my heart rate up, and the pain that I've gone through, I can walk straight out of here. So I have to come here. Well, I'm 80 years old, and I live by myself. I take care of myself. I'm in charge of myself. I fell last September. I was in my yard. I have a garden and everything, and I was standing on the flower bed. It's about 3 feet. And I felt the rock moving, and I moved with it. And I fell on my bad side, my left side. And I laid there for a while. My dog came up looking me in the face and all that kind of stuff. So I finally got up. I know how to get up, so I got up. And I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't tell anyone. But I ended up going to the doctor and having physical therapy. And so that was the only time I've fallen.
Well, I've been coming here about 5 years, and other than it being great for our physical being, it's a wonderful social, and we meet a lot of friends. It's done me a lot of good, and I've had some very, very bad falls. One fall that I had, I knocked out my 4 upper teeth here, right to the gum line. It took me about a year to get over that, and I've had other falls too. And I'm paranoid about falling some more. So I want to keep coming here to keep my strength up. I don't want to be dependent on anyone. The doctors always suggest that you do classes. And I wandered in on this one at the senior center when we were doing it over there. And I liked it so much. And I've always done a lot of exercise. And it just kills me that I can't go run and jog like I used to and dance, you know, and do all of those things. But I do as much as I can, and it keeps me going. Oh, I'm falling less, and I'm so aware of where I'm walking and what I'm doing. And I think the exercises have made me stronger. And I could not get up off of a soft chair before. With these exercises I've been doing, I don't have to have any help getting up out of a chair or a couch anymore.
For those who do not want to participate in a class or group activity, there are many videos available as well as television shows. Always talk to your doctor though before starting any exercise program. Finally, inspect your home for hazards. By making changes to your home, a person can feel safe and less at risk of falling. For example, the bathroom can be modified by installing grab bars in the shower or tub, having a place to sit, and having non-slip surfaces. Stairs can have handrails, adequate lighting, and even contrast between steps. Here are some resources for you to learn more about fall prevention. For more information about fall prevention, visit the Fall Prevention Center of Excellence at www.stopfalls.org. Maybe you're thinking, you don't need to do all of this, that this will never happen to you. After all, you never fall. But like it or not, everyone is at risk for a fall. So let's do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. Thanks for watching, and remember, your quality of life is in your hands.